Good evening, everyone. It is 7 o'clock, which means it's time for our 7 at 7. So thank you for joining, and those of you joining tonight and those who will join, I hope that you get a little hope and encouragement from this. And I just wanted to share a little bit about this past Sunday. Um, the message, Let It Shine, is something I believe every believer should do, is they have enough in them. They have the light of God. They have Jesus in them. If you're a believer, you've got the light in you, and that's enough to share. So I'm just excited about the stuff that God's showing me, the revelation, the light that I'm getting from what I'm reading. And if you have just time, talk to somebody. Tell them a little bit about that God loves them and God's there for them. So let me just keep going here. I want to read from Colossians chapter 1, and I'm going to be reading out of the Mirror Bible. I put the scriptures on there for you. So let me just start here in verse 11. This says, "You are empowered in the dynamic of God's strength." So you are empowered in the dynamic of God's strength. So God's strength is what empowers you. So he's not saying go do something and then trusting that you'll have enough strength on your own or enough willpower, enough determination. No, when you go forth, you're going forth in God's strength, in his dynamic strength. So, just starting off here, that is some really good news. It goes on to say, his mind is made up about you. God doesn't change his mind about you. He doesn't wonder what you're doing, how you're going to do it. If you're good enough to get what he wants to give you, he's already made his mind up about you because he already had Jesus die for you. He sees you as valuable. He sees you as worthy. He sees you as something worth giving everything for, because that's what he did. He gave everything in Jesus for us. So his mind is made up about you, and he's already determined that he's going to empower you with his strength for you to let it shine, for you to accomplish what he sent you to do. He enables you to be strong in endurance and steadfastness with joy. And I think that is just a key to it, is that your joy is a result of the endurance and steadfastness that God has given you. Hey Reagan, I'm glad you joined us, and hopefully you get a little something from this tonight, because every time I go over this, I get more. But it says in the commentary, it says, his glorious power means it's to recognize for what it really is. God's true opinion is basically, God's intention is his mind made up. God's mind is made up about you. I think that is great news, and that is awesome to know. I know people that are not believers, and they don't believe that God's mind is made up about them. Or if they do believe it is, it's in the negative. They don't understand that it's all positive, because he already did everything he's going to do for them, and he already saved them. He already sent Jesus for them. He's already healed them. He's already redeemed them. They just need to hear the good news so they can accept it, and they can receive it and be transformed from darkness to light. And that's what our sermon series this month is about, is light it up. And the way to do that is to share the gospel, the good news, and share the light of the world with someone. Be that city on a hill. Take the basket off and let the light of Jesus in you shine. It says in verse 12, we are grateful to the Father who qualified us. So it's God who qualified us, not me qualifying myself. There wasn't a set of rules and regulations and things that I had to do in order to obtain. God qualified me to participate in the complete portion, not half a portion, not part of a portion, in the complete portion of the inheritance. Of the inheritance, everything that he has given to us, that we're set to, that we inherit through what Jesus did. He's given us that complete portion of the inheritance of the saints in the light. Or you could say in Jesus. Because the light in Jesus, Jesus said, I am the light of the world. So I'm going to believe him and just go with that. And I love the commentary. It says the light of the gospel reveals what God accomplished in order to transform the sinner into a saint. And it goes on in verse 13. It's good to know I've been transformed from a sinner to a saint. Verse 13 says, he rescued us from the dominion of darkness. So Jesus, who's given us our complete portion in the inheritance of the saints in Jesus, Jesus therefore rescued us from the dominion of darkness. And here's what that means. It means the sense-ruled world, dominated by the law of performance. And he relocated us into the kingdom where the love of his son rules. And I just love that. You could, Jesus is the light, so you could say he relocated us from the dominion of darkness into the kingdom where the love of the light rules. And, whenever we get transformed and taken out of that darkness and we're put into that kingdom of light, that's why the disciples transformed the world. Because they realized the depths where they came from, and Jesus took them in their capacity, how they were. They couldn't obtain it through the law, but Jesus took them as they were and brought them and showed them, it's like, here is your complete portion. Everything that I am, I give to you. And Jesus taught them and showed them everything, and he gave it to them. And that's really, I think, one reason why they changed the world. They turned the world right side up. It talks about in Acts, these guys were saying, man, they turned our world upside down. No. They turned it right side up. They were getting people born again at such an enormous, fast rate that it was just, the religious people of the world just couldn't believe what was happening. Wow, it's 7 minutes already. Yes, Emma, I'm just going to read it. Thankful that the good news is light in our lives to reveal what he accomplished and not to reveal what we can't accomplish. Man, that's good. I might have to steal that and I'll preach that sometime. I already stole Dean's main event topic, so I'll just steal your comment there. So thank you all for joining. Hopefully you got a little hope and encouragement. Share this with your friends on Facebook. And you know what? You have enough in you to change someone's world, to take them from darkness to light. Let it shine and go forth and make a difference. Love y'all. God bless.